What is up, guys? Today's video is going to be pretty much on bait making. Now, if a lot of people want to get into bait making, that is great. It is super fun to make your own baits. It is tricky, but guys, it is a ton of fun and it's super cool when you get them to work. Okay, so today's agenda for today's video, I'm going to show you some of the tools you need to get started, some of the new baits I've been making, different bait shapes, designs, stuff like that, and what I found to be successful. Alrighty guys, let's get into this. So first, let's go over some of the baits that I've made recently. Some of these are unpainted, but by far my favorite shape is this bait right here. It's kind of a teardrop with a flat head and it's a square bill. Right there, guys. And it has an amazing action. And I'll roll the clip. The next one right here is a deep diving crankbait. I have to get some eyes for this guy. This guy has a really good wiggle. Takes a minute to get down there and to wiggle, but these guys work super well. So this next bait is an interesting bait as well. I came up with this prototype, and this bait wiggles. Guys, this bait really does wiggle. It's got a bigger square bill on it, and I really love this bait. Just how it's gonna look. Drop a comment down below if you want to paint this, guys. What should I paint this? Drop a comment down below. The next two baits I have here are poplar, and I really like working with poplar because it's not as easy to chip off stuff as balsa, and it's a great wood to start making baits with. But if I have to recommend like a type of wood for you guys to get started making baits and having very successful results, balsa is very easy to do that, and it's really easy to work with in sand with hand tools. So right there, this guy is made out of poplar. It's the lip is a little bit angled down just a little bit more, so it wiggles, it catches a little bit more water, and it's going to have a tighter action. Alright guys, so first of all, I'm going to show you my tools, and then I'm going to go into tools that you need, like the bare essentials to get started. My two favorite tools in my shop here are this bandsaw right here. Now, I got this at Menards, and one of the reasons I bought it is because it came with a rip fence and a miter gate. So as we go over here, right here, I have a belt and a disc sander. Now, this is about $80 at Menards. Both of these, you can find these at Menards. This, oh my goodness, you guys, this is a giant lifesaver. These two tools, you can get them for under $200. Both of them together were under $200, and they are super amazing. And really, guys, it's a great investment if you've been making baits for a little while, and you can make them so much faster. Obviously, we're gonna need a drill, just some drill, you need charger. My desk is messy. Wood glue sometimes. Definitely get some good drill bits, guys. Yeah, drill bits really are an essential thing. Alrighty guys, so what happens if you haven't made baits yet and you want to get started? So the first thing you're going to need is wood, okay? Poplar or balsa are my two recommendations to you guys to get started. So that's my favorite is poplar, but I also love balsa a lot. Now for saws, you want like a coping saw. Coping saws are great for cutting out the baits because you can do that. You can move a coping saw. Something to just cut stuff off. Just a regular saw, hand saw is great. A lot of people are gonna have these tools, in their shops. So it's a great thing. You need a drill. You need a drill to drill stuff, make the lock wire, make joints. It's very key to have a drill. You're gonna need some Lexan polycarbonate or just plexiglass sheet for making crankbait lips and tails and stuff like that. Another great tool here is a box knife, just a regular box knife. Alrighty guys, so pretty much the last thing that I want to talk about is painting the baits. Now I have an Iwata HPCS airbrush, but you don't need an airbrush right away. You can paint your own baits just by hand, and they'll look amazing. Just use simpler colors and stuff. So pretty much, you just need some paintbrushes and some paint. But to the person that's a little more advanced in making baits, and as you get more advanced, it's very important to invest in airbrush. where you'll just get your designs looking very sleek. So this is an Iwata HPCS. It's a gravity-fed dual-action airbrush, and it's very key that you get a gravity-fed dual-action airbrush. Don't get a siphon-fed. Really, you do want to spend the money on an airbrush. Don't buy a cheap one, okay? For your first airbrush, go ahead and buy a cheap one, okay? That's your only excuse. Don't just spend the money, you guys, okay? This one was $150. I bought some cheaper airbrushes. They don't last long. They splatter. It's just not a good idea. But if it's your first airbrush, you should really buy a cheaper one. Get a gravity-fed one. They sell them on Amazon for $12, $10 or $12, to get your first one. And then after that, you have some experience. You use that one for a year. You really decide you like bait making, you like painting baits. Invest in a good airbrush. Now, as far as paints, I like to shoot Wicked paint by Createx. I only shoot airbrush paint. You can use some acrylics from craft stores, and you can thin them down, but reducer is kind of expensive, so it's almost just as much to get like airbrush paint. And if you're just starting out and you need some colors, get the primary kit, and then like some extra white, because that's the base coat for all of the baits that I paint. It's either white or black is your base coats for painting baits. And then just get some cool colors if you see them. And make sure you get extra cleaner in a cleaning pot with a cleaning kit, okay? And it's an investment to get started into making baits. Once you get more invested in it and you really, really love it. And if you do, it's a hobby. It's a great thing to get into. You can sell them. I'm going to start selling baits. Hopefully very, very, very soon. I'm getting my Etsy shop up and running. They are going to be for sale on Etsy, as well as flies, some templates, maybe merch eventually. But guys, thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it, and I hope you all have a great night. See you guys.